Hello there, and welcome to Rest. In this video, I'll be doing a review of the book, it's the subtle art of not giving an F. Yes, for the sake of YouTube, I won't say that word, but yeah, you know the book already. So if you've read the book, I'm sure you enjoy the book. I think it's a good read. And something is funny about the book, like each time I read the book, I glean different meanings of his explanations and his examples. I think it's amazing how the book was written, and this sort of flat out direct language that you can understand. You don't have to think deep to understand what he means by each experience he narrates in the book. It's a really great book to read. I'll be talking about a few lessons I learned from the book in this video, which I feel like everyone should appreciate. I really did appreciate the fact that he came up with this idea, which is not popular. The first one is about desiring pain. Yeah, no one would naturally desire pain, but he comes up with explaining why you should desire pain. He recommends accessing success by an indirect pathway. So let's say you want to gain six packs, like you and I want to gain six packs in the gym. Instead of focusing on like the big body, the built body, you focus on all the hindrances to you getting that big body or that muscular figure or physique, and then you focus on that and you eliminate it to achieve success. That's what he means by focusing on the negative to gain the positive, to gain the end. So focusing on the means rather than the end, because most times in our lives, I believe that we do this a lot. You want to become rich, and for example, and then you paste the pictures of billionaires on your wall or your mirror, and each time you feel like you look at that, he says that it reminds you that you're not there yet, and so you feel poor, and that feeling is not a good feeling. So to avoid it, you should focus on everything in the way that helps you get there, so that by desiring that thing, you tackle that thing or that challenge and you get there eventually. It's an unpopular way to deal with things like this, but that's what he suggests in the book, and I think it can work for some people who have such a complex, who have a complex, and you cannot achieve success because you have a complex, or you feel inferior because you're not there yet. I think this might work for you, so perhaps go and read the book, or use that tactic. It could work for you. And then it talks about facing reality, and I've heard people talk about this in a very funny way, and in the most sometimes silly way, I would say, because they say this is reality, so anything goes, but reality is subjective, and reality is only what it means to you. So whenever you say reality, don't think that it's sort of a universal interpretation of life reality. In the book, he explains how to make sure that you make the right decision in every circumstance that you find yourself, and not just be compressed or be submerged by the weight of the chaos, of the confusion, because sometimes we're not prepared to face situations, and so we just want the easy way out. He said, no, face it head on and solve the problem. You see, it's just a way not to hide from problems, when you're in a tight corner, as I say. I find this very interesting. I think it's what we all do, or most of us do, I would say, most times, because you don't want to face the problem at hand. You want to just like hide and do the easy thing and get away from the problem. But he's saying here that you have to face it head on and make the right decision, because there are consequences. And that leads me into the third lesson that he explains in his book, which is the difference between fault and responsibility. You know, a lot of times we feel like we're not responsible for anything because it's not our fault that those things happened. He explains the fact that these are different terms and they don't mean the same thing. For instance, you bash someone's car, that's your fault, of course, you know, and you're responsible because it's your fault, you see. But there are times when you don't bash someone, but you still have to be responsible for situations like you find the baby at your doorstep, you know, that was dropped by someone, you know, you don't know who, of course. It's not your fault, that's true, but you're responsible for calling the police, for, you know, or child services. It becomes your duty to do that. So it doesn't mean that because you haven't caused it, you're not responsible for that. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, because sometimes we think, oh, it's not my fault and it's not my business, you know, it can go. But the thing is, once you're responsible for anything, it lies on you to make the decision, you know, in that situation, and whatever you decide on has a consequence, which is what he well explains in the book. And I think these are the 3 lessons I learned from the book, you know, the last time I read the book, and it was a good time I had, I must tell you. Yeah. And if you're out there, please go and read the book. This video is not sponsored, it's just my way of sharing my lessons, my life lessons, you know, going on. If you like this video and this channel, please subscribe, like the video, of course, and share with family and friends, and I shall see you in my next video. Until then, it's been Bruno, and it's a wrap. Bye now.